Great to talk with you again today. With the state of Michigan sweep in the rearview mirror, it's time to move on to a Penn State matchup that could be overlooked if you are thinking more about the Indiana game on Saturday. Also, there are a ton of stats in this one, so hang on to your hat all the way to the end. Here are my opening questions, though. Can Purdue carry their momentum into February? They've been really good so far. Can Zach Edey do it again? Can he back up his spectacular game Sunday with another great performance in this game against Penn State? Can Purdue and probably Ethan Morton slow down Jalen Pickett? Can Purdue come out to a hot start and put away their opponent early on, or will it drag out? Will there be overlooking the Nittany Lions and looking forward to the game in Bloomington on Saturday? It's definitely a trap game. Purdue is now 21-1 and 10-1 in the Big Ten. Can they keep their run going of 8 straight wins? All right, my analysis will go through the game as I watched it. Not every play, but many of them, and of course the trends. So here's what I saw, and of course what I wrote down at the time. The opening possession for Purdue didn't go well as they looked befuddled by the zone defense that Penn State put up. It really only produced a 3-point air ball at the end of the shot clock, so it didn't start off good. Meanwhile, Penn State's first offensive possession leads to a 3-point field goal and a 3-0 lead. Now, you start to worry a little bit, but it's just early, of course. Now, Purdue misses its first 6 shots, 3 of them fairly wide open 3-pointers, before First gets an offensive rebound and a putback for a deuce, and Purdue is on the board 3-2. 3 minutes into the game, and Ziti has not even taken a shot yet. After Penn State goes up 5-2, Ziti finally gets a good touch and a shot off, crossing the lane between 3 defenders for his first 2 points of the game. It was really a beautiful play. Now, Penn State starts off 2 for 7 shooting, and Purdue is 3 for its first 11. Both teams have taken a lot of 3-pointers so far, and they can't throw it in the ocean, basically. Now, after a 3 by Penn State to take an 8-6 lead later, Ethan Morton drops a 3-pointer for Purdue's first 3-pointer of the game. They're now 1 for 6 and regain the lead. So, befuddled at the beginning is what I would call it. At the first time out, though, Michael Henn for Penn State has 3 3-pointers and 9 points. What? He averages just 2 points a game. The game is tied, though, at 11. Purdue started out 0 for its first 6 shots, but it's now 6 of its last 8 shots at the 13-minute mark, and there have already been 5 lead changes. So all the old antics seem to continue as Zach Edey gets a one-armed offensive rebound because his defender had the other arm hooked. At least it was called a foul, but it cost Ziti 2 points on what would have been an easy dunk or putback. Now, further along, there is a timeout at the 9:22 mark. Braden Smitty, has had a beautiful little drive as he worked his way through different Nittany Lions. Also quietly, Ziti has 8 points and 7 rebounds already. He's not getting many touches though, but already has 2 offensive rebounds and putbacks. Purdue is up 21-13 and has no fouls committed and no turnovers, plus the lead in points in the paint 15-0, and have 9 offensive rebounds to Penn State's 0. So, out of the timeout, Fletcher Lawyer gets a nice 2, and Purdue's up by 10. Oh my, Mason Gillis is under the basket for an offensive rebound straight to him, and he's pulled away by a Penn State player while bent over backwards as someone else on the Penn State team gets the rebound. So, the replay from underneath the basket made it look even worse. And sure enough, the Boo Birds came out quickly as that was an egregious no call. So, Penn State's Henn gets a batted ball to him under the basket and scores another 2. He has 11 of Penn State's 15 points. Kind of crazy. But after Mason Gillis' third 3-pointer, Penn State has some great ball movement around the perimeter, but missed a wide open 3. Purdue is up 26-15 as they go into a timeout with 7:21 left in the half. So, after great defense by Morton and Purdue, Lundy for the Nittany Lions hits a 3 with 1 second left on the shot clock. Purdue immediately goes down, and Mason Gillis counters with his 4th 3-pointer of the first half. 4! Yeah. Then Penn State makes another fadeaway mid-range jumper, which I have called the Achilles heel of Purdue, watching many teams make those this season. But it was a solid defense and it really was a nice shot. Teams are having to do this because they have to shoot over Edey and they can't go through him. With 1:27 left in the half, Purdue is up 35-26. It has been a really clean game up to this point with only 7 fouls between the two teams. Purdue gets a couple of looks at the bucket with about 20 seconds left in the half. They get a shot off based on the shot clock, which touches the rim, goes out of bounds via a Penn State player, but because the shot clock didn't start properly after the tip out on the offensive rebound, they give the ball to Penn State. Purdue is penalized for someone not running the clock right. Did that really just happen? Yes, it did. All right, in Penn State's last possession, there's a steal by Purdue, and they throw up a near half-court shot at the buzzer for a miss. The score is 35-29 going into the break. Now, you got to give credit to PSU, as somehow, they closed it up to 6 points. Despite the entire game, Purdue seemed to be really in control. Now, one of the problems lately for the Boilermakers is that they seem to give up points late in the first half, allowing teams to get closer. That's what I wrote, and that's what I thought. I've been saying it for a few games now. That happened again. Penn State ended on a 9-3 run to cut a 12-point lead to 6 at halftime. So the teams are pretty close in shooting percentage at 43 and 44%, with Purdue leading that category. And Purdue is 6 for 18 from the three-point line, while Penn State is 5 for 15, both at 33%. Second chance points, Purdue leads 9-2, and bench points leads 13-3. That's your lead in a nutshell. So, my first thought coming out into the second half is, will the refs change their calling of fouls, which has been very soft at this point, allowing people to push people around. And this has happened a lot during the season. Let's hope it's a good second half for both teams, though. The second half starts off hot as Mason Gillis starts the second half, then drains not one but 2 quick three-pointers. He now has a career-high 18 points. Penn State counters with a nice deuce after some good ball movement underneath the basket. But holy smokes, Mason Gillis drains his seventh three-pointer as they continue to leave him wide open and try to double or triple Edey. Gillis is making them pay for that tactic, and Purdue is now up 44-31. Now, I told you a few games ago I thought Gillis was ready to break out, and tonight he has. Now we have to come up with a great nickname for him. I'll have to think about it. After a timeout to stop a Purdue run of 9 in a row, Gillis drains a two-pointer. Yeah, just a two-pointer. And the Boilermakers are now up 46-31. But somebody throw ice on the man. He's so hot because Gillis has scored all 11 points for Purdue in the second half in just 3 minutes. After another mid-range fadeaway deuce for Penn State, Morton joins the crowd, swishing a three of his own. So everybody's getting in on it. Teams are starting to learn you have to pick your poison. Tonight, they try to smother Edey, and the Boilermaker assassins make them pay for it. You know, Edey quietly already has a double-double, though, with 15 minutes left in the game, despite the double and triple coverage. Boom goes the dynamite. Penn State can't score, and Gillis gets his 8th three-pointer, and the next possession, Edey gets a thunderous lob dunk from Smitty. Purdue is now up 56-33, and it's a rout. It is a 21-2 scoring run in 5 minutes. There's a timeout with 11:33 left, and Braden Smitty just made a three, and Purdue is up 59-35. Penn State has only scored 6 points in the second half. Purdue has scored 24. Penn State finally blunts that run with a 4-point play on a made three and a free throw. Weird. There's a media timeout with 7:03 left in the game. After that 4-point play, Penn State made 3 more three-pointers to cut Purdue's lead down to 16. Not because of poor defense, but because of great shooting by Penn State and good ball movement that they were doing throughout most of the game. Now, Edey slows that run with a backed-in deuce off the glass, so that quieted that. Then he had a massive dunk from another Smitty lob, getting to be picture perfect there. With 5 minutes left, Gillis gets his 9th three to set the Mackey record for threes by a Purdue player, and Purdue is up 73-50. The last 3 minutes of the game, both sides had their subs in the game, and it ended 80-60 Purdue. So, don't go anywhere because I've got some smoking hot stats for you. Starting with, of course, Purdue continues their streak of 24 straight games with not allowing opponents to score more than 70 points. That is by far the longest streak in the country. The Big Ten leading Boilermakers go to 22-1 overall, and of course, 11-1 in the Big Ten. They are now 3 games up with 8 to play in the Big Ten season. That's also 9 wins in a row, and they appear to be clicking on all cylinders currently. Everything's working. KenPom moved them up. They now show Purdue as the 3rd-rated statistical team in the country, although they've been 4th or 5th almost the entire season. One thought, though, is that you could easily point out that there are more offensive players on this team than just the Player of the Year candidate, Zach Edey. It was a season-high 14 made threes for the Boilermakers. That was 1 point, and I'm calling Gillis now. I'm calling him Go Gillis for now as he scores 29, and his only blemish of the night during his breakout game was missing the front end of a 1-and-1 that would have given him 30 points late. Go said after the game, though, that he felt great about it and was excited that his teammates put him in a position to be able to help out. He said it was amazing to be able to do it at home. He said it's great to be able to basically play with this team because no matter who's hot, they will get them the ball. Whether it's Zeddy, Smitty, Flash, or somebody else, we don't care as long as we get the job done. That is great from someone who just had a spectacular night. Zach said after the game it was just fun watching Gillis go off. Also, Purdue's season-high 14 threes were on 31 shots, and Penn State had done a really good job on Zeddy, yet he still got his numbers. He quietly scored 18 and got 13 rebounds for his 18th double-double of the year. Here's what Coach Painter said. He was glad he started Go Gillis in the second half because he got it going. Of course, I called him Go. Coach said Ethan Morton did a great job on Pickett, holding him down throughout most of the game, and he was very proud of that. And Coach Mika Shrewsbury of the Nittany Lions said he had one statement, and it would be short. He said, best team in the country, best player in the country, best coach in the country. This team is a buzzsaw, and everything just fits on that team. They have the shooters, the guys that can drive the lane, and all the pieces around the potential player of the year. It was very nice for him to say, and I've seen video of him hugging everybody after the game. It was really awesome to see. You know, there were only 7 turnovers in this game for Purdue, and there were plus 19 on the glass. Plus 19, what? Those numbers will win you plenty of games. Here's a couple more crazy stats after the game. Smitty goes for 9, 9, and 5. 9 assists. Woo! Awesome play from the freshman guard. Ethan Morton got 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, plus his great defense as usual. So the team is playing well right now and fulfilling the number 1 rating that they have earned. Let's hope the stats are as good after the Hoosier game on Saturday. And, you know, folks, I can't wait to talk about that one too. It's been great talking with you this time, guys. We'll see you next time.
Shut up and sit down.